Ephesians 5:13, but all things become visible when they're exposed by the light, for everything that becomes visible is light. So this morning we're going to talk about logos and some of the hidden meanings behind them, exposing them to the light. So if you noticed FedEx and Tostitos on some of the earlier dividers, it was to get people thinking. We're not actually accepting donations for product placement. Our brain is smart enough to find hidden meanings and let them work in our subconscious, even if we don't notice them at a conscious level. So some of the logos we'll look at are, as we go forward, are fairly straightforward, and some are just kind of cute, but some are meant to work on us in a subconscious way. See if you can figure out which ones are which. So to start out, anybody recognize this logo? Very good. IBM. Philip liked this hat at an early age, even if he was confused by how many you wear at once. But yeah, IBM. But interesting enough, this wasn't the start of the IBM logo. They actually started here with International Business Machines, which I've actually got a shirt of. So it's kind of a pretty cool logo. It shows the whole world in the logo, denoting the goal of international use of all IBM computer systems. But then they got rid of it. It encapsulated more of what they were trying to say, at least on a subconscious level, but they went to this because it worked in more conceivable applications. It was easier to print in brochures, magazine ads, commercials. They could put it on building signage, trucks, packaging. So for packaging, for anything from diskette sleeves to boxes of carbon paper. So they kind of simplified it just to make it more visible. So anybody remember the original NBC logo? This was pre-television, so showing a radio going all across the United States. When TV came, they switched to this version of their logo, dropping the radio. And then in 1954, they went to this one. Anybody have a guess what it represents?
Is that a ball?
No?
Sideways microphone?
Look particularly at this piece.
I'm
There
hearing
you go.
it.
I heard it.
Wow. What's that about?
So if you think of NBC, turn it up, Phil. Let's try it one more time. So it was those three chimes.
So it is a drumstick or a chime stick.
Yeah, mallet. So I thought that was pretty clever. But they dropped this logo in 1956 because color television was coming. So they went to the peacock, though not the one that a lot of us see these days. So some of these logos are kind of meant to be obvious, like the peacock for colors, but on some, they go to more of a subconscious meaning, like I was saying. So with the current NBC logo, they changed it to 6 tail feathers, one for each division, and they changed it to a forward-looking bird. So they want you to know that NBC, unlike other companies, is the one that looks to the future, unlike the last bird that was looking to the past. So they're hoping that your subconscious picks up that cue. One of the most famous companies in the world, we're using some of their products during the service. Can you name the company based on this, their first logo? I don't know that it helps, but the bottom says, Newton, a mind forever voyaging through strange seasons of thought alone.
It looks like some kind of booze bottle.
What's Newton famous for?
Apple.
Bingo. Apple Computer Company. Most people know that there was 2 original founders of Apple Computers, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, but there was a third guy that I just lost his name. But this was the logo that he created. But he was afraid of getting sued because they weren't incorporated, so that meant if anybody sued you, it came out of your own savings. So he quickly left the company. Most people have forgotten about him. But yeah. So then they went in 1977 to this logo. This is one Philip got at their Apple Day camps. So it kind of shows you a play on the same thing. And then they dropped the colors for more current stuff. Mr. Janoff was the designer of this logo, and officially they say they included the bite so people would know that it was an apple, not a cherry, since it helped with scale. But what do you remember about an iconic story about a bite out of a piece of fruit, commonly referred to outside of the Bible as an apple? Biblically, we know it's not an apple, but almost everybody refers to it as an apple. Yeah, Adam and Eve. So Genesis 2:16 and 17, the Lord God commanded the man, saying, from any tree of the garden you may eat freely, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat it, for in that day you will eat it, you will surely die. So the Apple logo is supposed to imply that its products obtain knowledge for their users. Really obvious once it's pointed out, but I never made the connection before. It's supposed to work on you subconsciously.
Is that a mountain on there, or what's the gray? It's just a.
Shiny,
It's like a leaf, isn't it?
supposed to be like a camera, shiny artifact. So who can tell me the hidden meaning behind Baskin-Robbins logo?
Yeah, 131 flavors. Oh, no, 31 flavors.
31 flavors. How about Tostitos? Yep. A couple friends sharing Tostitos chips. Not everybody got it there.
No, I didn't.
Okay. How about FedEx?
The arrow and the.
Yeah. The arrow between the E and the X is supposed to show you that they're a forward-thinking company. A lot of people like that forward thinking. How about Goodwill? Go ahead.
The G is also the one in the, it looks like a half smiley face.
Very good. And he didn't know this ahead of time. The person, half of their face, is exactly the same as the G in Goodwill. So not really subconscious meaning there, just cute design. How about the classic Milwaukee Brewers? Yep. M and B are what makes up the glove. How about the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium? Okay. We got the fish and the birds, but then if you look at the negative space, you've got a gorilla and a lion. How about 8's logo?
What is eight? What's eight?
It's another company.
Oh,
Each letter,
Portions of eights, right?
yeah, each letter is made up of the number 8. They just cut different parts of it to make it. Amazon?
They're grinning all the way to the bank.
Paula had it. Every product from A to Z. And again, they're moving forward. How about the Falcons? Yeah, it's an F. Here's one I really like. The London Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, you can say LS.
LSO, that's half of it.
He's conducting.
Melody's got the rest. It's a conductor. And actually, they've got the stick in the left hand. Very clever design. How about Via Railroad? Linda's got it. Maybe some other people. It's train tracks. $80-20. Anybody that's taken math should be able to get this one. It was taught to me in 5th grade math. So anybody 5th grade and above should be.
That's the portion of.
Really?
I can't see it.
Is it like a percent? Is it like the portion of blue to gray tiles is, no?
I'll give you your hint. blues are ones, the gray is 0.
Oh, code? Yeah, it's coded.
Binary.
Yeah.
Instead of a decimal number system, it's binary, so it's in zeros and ones. If you count up the top line, if you convert it from binary to decimal, it's 80, and the bottom line's 20. So each time if you go over, you double, you add, you double.
Yeah, that's the reason help me at all. I figured out little line machine on
Bronx Zoo.
the skyline.
A few people said this one. In their legs is the skyline of the Bronx. How about the former NFL team, the Hartford Whalers? Whale tail. Yep. And an H. And a W. Tour de France. Guy riding a bicycle. If you didn't see it. And what may be my favorite, Spartan golf clubs. Yeah. The golfer is the face of the Spartan. The swing of the golf club is the top of the Spartan mask. Or helmet, I should say. Designer DNA. Pencil's a double helix. Pencil also denotes design. Connected home. It's a plug, but it's also a house. Electrical plug. I like that one too. This should be an easy one for the kids. Holner Zoo. Giraffe and the rhino. So, before we keep talking about logos and symbols, I got to give you a little background. There's two main types of fonts in the world, print. So you've got your serif, and note that it's got flourishes, is what they're called. So instead of just a straight T, you've got these little things that come off the ends. And then you've got sans serif. Sans means without, so this is a font that don't have that flourish. So pretty much any font or print face you see is going to be one of these two categories, either serif or sans serif. The serif flourishes are designed to help your eye move across the page and stay on one line. It's also considered an older style, though, more biblical. So if you just read that verse, it's not important itself, but just, is it easy for your eye to stay on one line due to those flourishes? Then I'll give you the other version. So you can judge for yourself if it's easier with the flourishes to stay on one line or not. If you watch our songs, you can see which version of font I prefer, which I actually inherited from the pastor who started doing songs, and we have the same opinion. Whereas if you go to conference, you'll see Pine Grove is on the other half. You know, it's all personal opinion. So Yahoo originally used a serif font, and to provide interest, they dropped and lowered the letters to make it more interesting. However, since serif fonts have fallen out of favor, when the CEO of Yahoo changed, they changed it to a sans serif font. And they said they didn't need the letters going up and down, they just needed the O bigger on the end and the tilted exclamation point to provide the whimsy of the Yahoo company. Personally, I don't think it looked as interesting as their previous one, but personal opinion. So you remember the last presidential run, we had Hillary running for president. Her logo was that currently popular sans serif, no extra lines font, version of an H moving forward. A brilliant, beautiful designed logo. Simple, well to the point, very versatile. Whatever message she was currently pushing, she could put within the picture of the H. Really wonderful, great design. And Donald Trump killed it by using a serif font against all common knowledge and branding wisdom, just a basic font recalling the past, saying to make America great again. Something anyone could go get made just about anywhere hats are created. And from a design point of view, it spoke to people and made Hillary look like an elitist, though both of them are, rich beyond most of our dreams. But it's interesting where you get a very great design logo that somebody could come up with a totally idea and just trounce it. So I thought we might end with some of the logos we see most often, those on vehicles. Ford and Honda, there is absolutely no hidden meaning. They're just distinctive. Anybody care to guess on Cadillac's hidden meaning? It does have one. Philip's heard this part of it, so he knows.
Kind of look like they're owned by Chevron.
It does, but it actually comes from the coat of arms of the Cadillac family, but it was simplified by a Dutch painter. And the red from the coat of arms, for those that understand Catholic history, is supposed to tell you that they have had the fearlessness of the Crusades. So for those with a Catholic background, you're supposed to understand that Cadillac cars are the fearless cars. I don't have a Catholic background, so it doesn't speak to me. Alfa Romeo, we don't really see these around here, but it's got an interesting meaning. Anybody want to take a guess? Yeah, a lot of people are saying, hitting right around it. The upper right signifies the House of Visconti, Milanese rulers of the 14th century, and the left side, as most are saying, is the Milanese Red Cross. Many look at that right side and just think that it's a snake breathing fire, but it's actually a lot more than that. If we zoom in, it makes it a little easier to notice that it's a person being eaten by the snake. And this is supposed to show you that, well, from the original crest, it's supposed to show you that they were the dominant party in the Crusades defeating the Moors. Today, Alfa Romeo is saying, we are the dominant car company. We are better than everyone else. Anybody have a guess on BMW? So the Bavarian flag is the middle there, but it's the second meaning. BMW started out making airplane engines. So if you look at that blue and white really closely, you're supposed to see a propeller spinning incredibly fast. So they want you to remember their roots. Hyundai. Now you might think this is just an H, but it's more than that. Anybody have a guess? No? Nice try. It's supposed to show you that two people are shaking hands. And they want you to know that they are the friendly car company that works hand in hand with their consumers. And once you see them shaking hands, I can't look at a car that's Hyundai and not see it anymore. But they say subconsciously, most people will pick up that they're the friendly car company from the logo. Infinity Cars. Anybody want to guess? Yeah, I think Brad's got it. Street that goes into infinity. So their hidden meaning is, this is the car that you don't want to get out of, you just want to keep driving and driving and driving. This one's kind of hidden in plain sight. Jaguar is to show that they are the car of power and agility, just like the big cat they're named after. Now you might think VW is just their name, but it's actually a lot more than that. I was originally going to put this one in until I looked up the meaning and I'm like, oh, I can't not put this one in. Anybody know? V means Volks or people in German. W means wagon or cars in German. So the V rides on the W. So the meaning is, mostly for people that know German, that people should be carried by cars. Not the other way around.
There's a bird. I can see that much.
Okay? So the side of the oval with the V in the middle makes the ib. And then, yeah, the bird for the zoom zoom. Or soaring into the future. Anybody know Mercedes? It's a little basic. 3 bars, since their motors power vehicles on air, land, and sea. Nissan? You might think it's just the name Nissan, but it actually has a hidden meaning for your subconscious. Anybody know? That would sound like an obvious one. Anybody remember what country they come from? Yeah, you're supposed to realize that they're a Japanese company because their logo is the sun. So they're from the land of the rising sun. So you're supposed to understand that Nissan are the cars of Japanese quality. And again, this one you would think is basic, but it's not.
See the rings of Saturn? I thought it looked like a steer.
I did too. It's a T, but the two circles
Supposed to be.
are supposed to show you that they interlock. So one's the automaker, one's the customer, so they're supposed to show you the overall trust between the consumer and the customers.
That was before their business license.
Toyota?
Oh, Toyota.
So, Ephesians 5:13 and 14, but all things become visible when they're exposed by the light, for everything that becomes visible is light. For this reason it says, awake sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. We need to make sure that we're aware of the hidden meanings of logos of things that we use and expose them to the light, at least in our own mind. Not only logos though, but if you think about it, what hidden meaning does our life have and our example for others, even when we're not trying to show an example? We could have meanings that we're not aware of, so we need to always think about the example we're providing to others and let Christ shine on us and through us. But wait, there's more logo analysis to come in the sermon.